Okay, so the video that we're about to look at is one of the most damning pieces of evidence against Amber Heard, as if everything wasn't damning enough, but Johnny Depp's lawyer notes differences in injury photos from Amber Heard. We're going to take a look at two identical photos, which Amber Heard claims are completely different. And you'll see that, hey, this is the same photo with the saturation turned up. And I can comment this is 100% the same photo. You know why I know? Because I'm a YouTuber. I deal with thumbnails every single day for the past 3 years, on multiple channels. I know exactly how saturation and contrast works, everything about photos. I'm familiar with it. So take a look.
Let's go to May of 2016. Yesterday, Ms. Heard, Ms. Bredehoff, your attorney, showed you certain pictures from May 21, 2016. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
Ms. Heard, you testified yesterday that this is a photograph taken of you on May 21st, 2016. Do you recall?
Yes, that's correct.
And keeping this exhibit up, if we could please do a split screen, Tom, and also pull up Defendant's Exhibit 714, which has already been admitted with redactions. Ms. Heard, you testified yesterday that this is the photograph that was also taken on May 21st, 2016, correct?
Yes, although the one to the right might have been taken the next day. I can't be sure. The reason I say that is because there's light in the background.
You took different pictures in different lightings on May 21?
That is correct, yes.
Yeah.
And you're wearing two thin necklaces in this picture on the right. Is that correct?
That is correct.
You testified that these pictures were taken the same night.
The one on the right looks like it was taken in the daytime because I can see the daylight behind me.
But you testified that they were taken the same day.
I don't know if I think I testified that they came from the same incident of the same day, not necessarily taken on the same day.
Okay. Let's please pull.
The same incident of the same day, not the same day. You just said the same day. What is she talking about? She's tripping over a word so bad. It was taken on the same day. Just
Defendant's
wait.
Exhibit 712, which has already been admitted. You testified yesterday that this is another photograph of you on the night of May 21.
That's correct.
And
Saturation's been turned up
can you please do
here.
a split
Let's
screen
take
and
a look
also
at the
pull up
natural
Defendant's
photo.
713, which has already been admitted.
These are different photos, aren't
Ms. Heard, you
they?
testified yesterday this is also a photograph of you from the same night, correct?
That is correct.
You testified yesterday that the only difference between these two photographs is that the light was turned on.
That's what it appears to be, yes.
You're telling me you had the exact same photo taken? Your position is the same. Your hair strands are the same. How is every hair the exact? You're telling me you, even if you moved 1 micrometer, how did you turn on the light, if without any of your hair strands moving an inch? You're getting caught in 4K, 8K, Ultra HD.
The light is on both of these pictures, though. Isn't that right?
It looks to me like the one on the left has the vanity light, the makeup lights, you know, the more yellow-hued ones that go around the mirror on, and then the one on the right looks like it doesn't have those.
Okay, so Amber Heard is saying these are two different pictures. One of them, there's makeup lighting on, and the other one doesn't have that makeup lighting on. Now, I don't know what light you can put to make your face go from this to this. One light, one makeup light. It's usually like that ring light that you put or whatever the hell. But it's not going to cast this red glow on your face unless you go into Photoshop, unless you go into your photo editing software. Crank up the saturation because this right picture looks like a normal woman and this left picture looks like a woman who's been beat. Because you just turned up the saturation. I know how this works, okay? I do it all the time for my YouTube thumbnails so that people click on them, alright? Everybody does that. But in your case, it's not the best thing to do if you're lying about a picture.
Isn't it true you just edited these photographs?
Exactly.
I've never edited a photograph.
Didn't you just enhance the saturation?
I've never edited a photograph. Amber Heard has never edited a photograph. A female celebrity in Hollywood has never edited a photograph. A normal person, almost everybody has edited a photograph. Please shut up.
For one of these photos to make your face look more red?
No, that's incorrect. I didn't touch it.
Oh, you didn't touch it.
You were sitting here in this courtroom when Mr. Isaac Baruch testified to seeing you the week after May 21, 2016, correct?
I was here.
Mr. Baruch testified that he saw you on May 22nd while you were changing the locks of your penthouse. Do you recall that testimony?
I do. I just don't know if he was right about the date, but I do remember him saying that.
Testified it was his birthday, the day after his birthday.
I believe it was.
Mr. Baruch testified that he saw you repeatedly in the days following also, correct?
That's correct.
I feel sad for the
And Mr.
jury who
Baruch
keeps
testified that he
having to
saw
look
no
at
marks
her.
or injuries on your face, correct?
That is what he's testified to.
Yeah,
We're also
no
here in
injuries.
this court when Mr. Sean Bett testified to seeing you on the evening of May 21, 2016. Is that right? You were here.
That's correct.
Mr. Bett also testified that he saw no marks or injuries on your face that evening, correct?
I realize that's what he said.
Ah, yes, I'm realizing that's what every single witness says. Every single one of them. Not one of them can recall any injuries on any part of your body ever. And he's been beating you for 5 years, apparently. How? How is this humanly possible? At least have a witness. You don't even have hearsay. I mean, let alone evidence. You don't have hearsay. If you were getting beat, surely you would take a picture. 5 years. Surely you take a damn picture. The only pictures you have are this edited BS here.
You were sitting here in this courtroom when Officer Melissa Sines testified by deposition about being called to the Eastern Columbia building on May 21st, 2016, right?
I saw her testimony, yes.
And you heard Officer Sines testify that she did not see any injuries on you that night, correct?
I heard her testify she did not consider this injured.
No. Miss Officer Sines testified that she met with you and she did not see any injuries on your face. Isn't that correct?
She did not consider this injury.
She didn't see any injuries. What do you mean consider?
So is my answer.
She did not take into consideration my lies, Your Honor.
Well, Officer Sines testified that she
Officer
saw
Sines?
you the night of May 21, 2016, face to face, and didn't see any injuries on your face. Isn't that correct, Ms. Hurd?
I believe she was testifying about these photographs, and she said that I was not injured in them.
What?
Is it your testimony under oath now that Officer Sines testified that she saw injuries on you when she saw you in person on May 21?
Sorry, let me clarify. I was testifying that I know that that's what Officer Sines said, that she didn't consider my red puffy face injured. That's what she said.
My red puffy face that looks exactly normal in normal lighting. I can make my face look injured with a little bit of makeup and a little bit of lighting. It's pretty easy to do that, okay?
The red
puffy face.
That
It's like it's just cranked up the saturation or the blush.
was
Like,
your counsel's question, correct?
That was
She
her
said-
testimony in the UK.
That's incorrect, and you know that, Ms. Hurd.
I disagree.
I
Convenient
disagree.
for you that Officer Sines didn't see injuries on you on May 21, 2016.
It
Isn't
doesn't
that
matter
right?
what's convenient for me.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Officer
It doesn't?
Tyler Haddon also testified by deposition about being called to the Eastern Columbia building on May 21, 2016, and he also testified no injuries on your face on May 21, 2016. Isn't that correct?
They both said that they did not consider me injured.
They said
did
they
not
didn't see you
injuries
in-
on
did
your
not see
face
injury.
on May
Exactly.
21, 2016. Isn't that what their testimony was?
What their testimony was is that they did not consider what my face
Why
looked
are
like.
you changing their testimony? Why are you rewording it in your form? Just admit to what the testimony was. I don't even know why they have to ask her this when they know it.
the
Like,
injury? They didn't consider what they walked on in the house damage, but it was.
You were sitting here when Officer William Gatlin testified by deposition about being called on May 21 to the Eastern Columbia building, and he also did not observe any injuries on you, did he? And that's what he testified to.
He didn't even know which one I was.
No, I think we all saw on video camera you identify yourself. Isn't that correct?
I had to because of how far away he was. He didn't even know who he was
But
there
after
to
you
see.
identified yourself, he looked at you. Isn't that correct?
From a distance, yes.
And he didn't see any visible injuries either, did he?
I don't know what he saw.
He testified that he didn't see any visible injuries, did
I
he?
would believe that he didn't, yes.
You were also in this courtroom when Alejandro Romero, who worked at the front
damn,
desk
this lawyer is just absolutely cooking her. Oh my
Eastern
god.
Columbia building, testified about seeing you on May 25th, 2016. Isn't that correct?
That is correct. I think he said the 25th.
Yeah. And Mr. Romero testified that he didn't see any swelling or bruises on your face when you were talking to him at the front desk.
He wouldn't have.
No, he wouldn't have, even though he had a habit, because his parents taught him correctly to look into someone's eyes when speaking to them. Isn't that correct?
I know that's what he testified to, yes.
You testified yesterday that you sought a temporary restraining order on May 27th, 2016 because you wanted to change your locks. Do you remember that testimony?
Yes, I do.
Those locks were to the penthouses at the Eastern Columbia building. Isn't that correct?
That's correct.
But you changed the locks to the penthouses on May 22nd, 2016.
I attempted to.
Even
That's why you
do
felt
that
comfortable
laughing.
having James Franco over the evening of May 22nd, 2016, Ms. Heard?
I do not know when James came over.
Okay, let's remind you. Can we please pull up Plaintiff's
Oh.
Exhibit 304, which is already in
Sheesh.
evidence, and play...
You shouldn't have said you don't remember. Nobody wants to see this clip a million times.